Hello, good morning. Good morning. It has been a very long time since I've said good morning on a live stream because I am usually never here live in the morning. It's 11 a.m., so still technically morning. And I'm usually a late kind of person, more of an evening person. So I am hopping on to do today's live stream early because I'm not going to be around later this evening, probably. So I thought, oh, why not go live in the morning? So different vibe maybe. So I have my peppermint tea because I'm kicking the first thing, not first thing, it's not first thing, is it? I'm kicking the morning coffee. So I'm going to just have like a gentle ease to my body. So I wanted to talk today around throat chakra stuff because it's been coming up for me and it's a massive one for anyone, any of you who are trying to move forward, change, shift, grow, expand. This is going to come up somewhere, and it usually comes up somewhere along the journey if I work with anyone over a longer period of time. So, as you might have known, if you've tuned in, I've been, this is the first live stream I've done face to face since Friday because I've just been really under the weather. I've had to really rest. And what was coming up was my throat. It wasn't like I'd lost my voice, but it was more, it was just sore, and it was like, well, how do I explain it? It was like almost like a pressure here, and I just needed to not speak as much, and I just needed to just rest. And I was also probably run down and detoxing things and all sorts of craziness that's happening right now, right? So I let myself rest. As you, if you've been tuning in, you can see I still showed up and did my live streams, but I did it in a way that meant I didn't need to do this and be sort of forward facing and talking. And anyway, it got me thinking around the throat chakra again. And I was diving into my own stuff again because I'm like never ending and I'm always doing it. And side note, we get to do that and also move forward. So never feel that you have to clear all your stuff before you can do X, Y, Z, because I'm a big believer, and I've said it before, that we do get to do both. So I'm continuously working on my stuff because that's just what I choose to do. That's how I live. And I'm always releasing layers, and just when you're aware, you work on yourself in that way. But at the same time, it's taking action and doing the things and doing them imperfectly, and showing up in whatever way that looks like for you. So we get to do it simultaneously. Anyway, so I was thinking about the throat chakra stuff, and what's been coming through to warn you is another layer, another level. And it just reminded me, like, sometimes we think we're there, and then we realize there's just so much more. We're so expansive. So here I was, here I am doing my daily live stream. So today is day 72, and I have done a live stream every single day, in some shape or form. And it's what was coming through over the last few days, especially because I sort of retreated a bit more and just reflected on what was going on in my body and how I feel about everything. There was this sort of connection to the throat chakra, which is where we hold all our self-expression and all of the words, all of the unexpressed things that we say or haven't said. And I was aware that there's a whole other level wanting to come through. And I was thinking, well, what the hell? Because I'm showing up and I'm being visible, and I've busted through all these visibility things, right? That some of you might know that I've been working on, like, over the last 7 years. It's been a real journey for me. I was like, well, what else is there? And it just made me laugh because, of course, there's more. There's always more. And I know this, but sometimes we forget. And what was coming through was like, it was really coming through thick and fast. There's another level, there's another layer for you to release and to step into. And what it feels like for me, and some of you might relate to this if you're sharing messages of any kind, it was like the message that was coming through, probably like sort of higher self message, was more, the filter needs to go. The filter needs to go. And I'm not talking filters. We're talking throat chakra filters. So that was a message, and I was like, "Oh, what would that look like for me?" Right, as I step into the next level, and I got this awareness of, not that I'm not, like, I feel like I always show up and I share what I want to share, right? Like, I'm sharing a message, whatever comes through, and that's real. That's always real. But there is another part of me where maybe like the chit chat side of me, that I would maybe hold back on sharing what I really feel, what I really believe, because there's still an element of trying to keep everyone comfortable, right? And I know that some of you will absolutely relate to this, in your own messaging and how you show up in, even if you don't have a business creativity in that sense, but it could be even in your relationships, your friendships with people in general, right? We sort of, if you're very in tune and you're very aware of energies and you feel people responding to you energetically, it almost makes it more difficult in some ways, because it means you're so in tune with it. You're going to notice when someone switches off. You're going to notice when someone doesn't like you or has a response to what you're sharing. And then when we know that, it's like, how do we have the courage to, even though we know that, step into our truth, whatever that is for you, and to just be ourselves? So that's the bit of the journey I'm on. And what was coming in, and how to move beyond it. It was, okay, well, how to move beyond this then? And it was like, right, filter needs to come off, and it's really about, and interestingly, it's not about filter needs to come off and you need to show everything about your life, because I am very private, even though some of you might even think that I share a lot. Depends. Depends on the standard, right, that you apply. But I'm really private. Like, whatever I share is what I'm sharing in life and experiences. But there's so much that I don't share, and I'm very, very private. That's me by nature. So, oh, hold on. I don't know if this is streaming now. I'm getting an error message saying, okay, well, I'll just continue. If it's not recording, I'll do it again. um, so yeah, so I was like, how to move, I forgot what I was saying now. How to move beyond it was, yeah, not, oh, I've completely lost my train of thought. So annoying. I was reading the error message that's just come up about trouble streaming to Facebook. Let me just check that I was streaming, because if not, I'll have to start again. Hold on. Lost my train of thought anyway. Let me just double check. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. It's been very uncooperative recently, Facebook. Right, let's see. Okay, it looks like I'm streaming. Okay, well, I'll soon see. Okay, what was I saying now? Totally lost my train of thought. I was saying this happens a lot. How to move beyond it, I was talking about. Well, it will come back. I always say, by the way, if you forget stop something, and you go, why can't I remember? Why can't I remember? Just release it. This is what I always do. Release it, no pressure. If it was really important, it will come through. If it doesn't need to be said, it doesn't need to be said, doesn't need to come in. So I trust that whatever comes through. Right. So let me get back to it. Anyway, what I can share is, yeah, moving beyond it. It was like not filtering, right? It's not about taking off filters. It is more about sharing. Yeah, I was saying about being a private person, and also that's true for me. So my expression is more, for me, it's about saying the things that, like, let's say I would say to Michael in a conversation, or any friend I was close to, where I'd say, this is what I really think, la 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 la, and have a good old rant about it. And then maybe when I come online and, like, even speaking or writing, maybe I would really dilute that, like really dilute that down into a much more pleasant message. And I'm very aware that sometimes I do that, which is a funny balance. It's a funny balance to have, because I also want to be respectful of everybody's views and perspectives. And I know there are many. Mine is not the truth. It just is what it is. So I don't know if this is true, but I'm getting error messages jumping up. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to share. So that's what I'm working through. It's coming up in another level. So I feel like there's this feeling of wanting to just, I don't know what it will look like, but it's interesting, right? But then this is exactly why I did this live stream journey, because I knew if I just kept showing up every day, this isn't the right way for everyone. And I'm only doing it for my own specific reasons. But it's like, I knew if I kept kind of holding myself accountable to showing up, even if it is 60 seconds, doesn't have to be a long old session. What would happen? Like, what would happen if I just kept showing up? Would I start to run out of things to say? Would I start to express more? Would I start to express differently? What would start to happen? And I'm feeling this kind of shift starting to take place. My God, it's taken a long time. I'm day 72, right? Because there was a point at one stage I was thinking, why am I doing these live streams? Do I want to keep doing them? Because it's not about kind of getting over the fear anymore of like showing up, because that's not it. But it was more like, no, there are other layers, other levels. So I kind of persisted with it. So anyway, it's an experiment. I'm seeing what it's bringing up. So I want to share that with you, and I want to just share it with you. You can just receive that with interest if you want, or you can apply that if you know you're definitely someone who has got some kind of message inside of them. If you know that you're here to share something, you're going to have throat chakra stuff at some point, and I want you to know that it's okay. Sometimes it's from our lifetime, just being aware and in tune and having that kind of nervousness of how it's going to be received. But often it can be from past lives. I've said this before. We have had so much persecution and rejection and abandonment from in different generations, different historical periods when we have spoken up. So a lot of us carry this. It's like a wound we carry from past lives into the current one. And if you're here to share your message in some way, that might be a part of it. So it's not to get hung up about it, but it's just being aware and being really gentle with yourself that you might have throat chakra stuff. So don't judge yourself. Like as you're scrolling through and you're seeing someone share and speak confidently and you're judging yourself there, just know that you're on your path, and you know that there are layers. There's always layers. So even I'm doing this and there's still more layers. I know in 5 years time there'll be other layers and levels to move through. So it's like an ongoing journey. So that's what I wanted to share today. I don't even know if this is streaming. I will see when I come off. I hope it is. If not, then we'll see. Right, so that's it. And yeah, I will be oh yeah, and I shared my very quick live stream yesterday, where I was just showing that I was doing the past life regression therapy and stuff. So I'm adding that to my existing ways of working, which I'm so excited about, because that feels so correct for me right now. And it's been my whole life I've been connected to that. Past lives, the idea of it was never something I had to learn. It was something I just came in with despite my family beliefs and things like that. We were raised Catholic, so we didn't get raised with any of those beliefs. So it was very, very true to me. So to step into that now is going to feel really good. And I've already been doing elements of that anyway. It comes up spontaneously sometimes when I work with someone. So I'm really excited to bring that to you. So I'm going to be sharing more about that. I'm going to be talking more about that as well, and some other stuff. So yeah, throat chakra. So check in, see how you're feeling on this, see what it brings up. Do you feel like your throat chakra is open and you just speak your truth and everything's really like flowing in that area, or does it feel like sometimes there's a little bit of a block, or maybe even a big block? So whatever that is, you are okay and you are moving through the journey. And of course, if you want assistance and guidance, reach out, because I have different ways of working, and this is definitely something I can relate to personally, but professionally most certainly. And it comes up pretty much everywhere in some form. Maybe it's just being in the human condition, right? It's part of being human. And we relate to people, so our throat chakras are kind of a big deal, actually. So I send you lots of love. Have a lovely day. This is super early for me, so I really hope this is recorded, because it's nice to do a live stream early for a change. But yes, I shall see you tomorrow. So have a lovely magical rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and I'll talk to you very soon.